When we look at the desert, what we see is an endless sea of sand, a dry, hot, lifeless expanse. Have you ever wondered, looking at those grains of sand sparkling in the sunlight, that this ordinary sand will one day turn into transparent, smooth glass? The glass that makes up our house windows, car windshields, smartphone screens, or delicate laboratory instruments. The story of this transformation from the most common element in nature to one of the most important discoveries of human civilization is truly amazing. Today, we will learn step by step how ordinary desert sand turns into sparkling, crystal-clear glass. The first step starts with the ingredients inside the sand. Not all sand is suitable for making glass. Desert sand contains a lot of silica, or silicon dioxide. This silica is the main ingredient in making glass. Silica is a type of mineral that is abundantly found on the surface of the earth. But to make glass, you need very pure silica sand, which contains little iron or other elements, because this material can give the glass a green or brown tint. So first, high-quality silica sand is collected. After this, the purification process begins. The collected sand is washed, sieved, and chemically purified in various processes. This separates clay particles, unalloyed metals, and other unnecessary elements. Sometimes iron particles are separated using magnets. This step is very important because the more pure the silica, the more transparent and high quality the final glass will be. Now comes the mixing step. It is possible to make glass with silica alone, but it has a very high melting point, about 1700 degrees Celsius. Controlling such high temperatures on an industrial scale is expensive and difficult, so soda ash and limestone are added to the silica. Soda ash lowers the melting point of silica, and limestone makes the glass more stable and durable. The perfect ratio of these three ingredients produces ordinary soda-lime glass, which is used in most of the world's glass. Now the real magic begins, the melting process. The mixture is heated to temperatures of about 1400 to 1600 degrees Celsius in a large industrial furnace. At this temperature, the hard-grained sand slowly melts into a liquid glowing mixture. This liquid glass looks a lot like molten lava. At this time, the chemical bonds break, forming a new structure which is no longer as orderly as a crystal. Rather, it becomes a type of solid material whose particles inside are not arranged regularly like a crystal. And it is because of this property that the glass is transparent. Once the melting process is complete, the work of forming or shaping begins. The molten glass is given various shapes as needed. The float glass method is used to make window glass. In this, the molten glass is slowly poured onto tin. The glass floats on the tin and spreads in an even and smooth layer. Gravity and surface tension naturally flatten the glass. This process creates a perfectly even, transparent sheet of glass. If bottles or other shaped products are to be made, blowing or molding technology is used. Sometimes with the help of machines, sometimes in the traditional way, air is injected into the molten glass and shaped. Skill and perfect control are very important at this stage. The next step is very important, which is to slowly cool the hot glass. If hot glass is cooled suddenly, pressure builds up inside it and it can easily break. Therefore, the glass is slowly cooled in a special chamber. This process reduces the internal stress of the glass and makes it stronger and more stable. Next comes inspection and cutting. In modern factories, lasers and automatic scanners are used to check the glass for any bubbles, cracks, or defects inside. Then it is cut, polished, and packaged as required. Now the question arises, why is glass transparent? The science behind it is also very interesting. Usually, in crystalline materials, the atoms are arranged in an orderly manner, which scatters light. But in glass, the atoms are arranged randomly. As a result, light can pass through almost unhindered. This is why we can see through the glass. However, not all glass made from desert sand is created equal. Modern technology produces tempered glass, which is much stronger than ordinary glass. Laminated glass is also produced, where there is a layer of plastic between two layers of glass, which does not scatter pieces even if it breaks. The glass used in smartphone screens is chemically treated to increase its strength and scratch resistance. This whole process reminds us even the most ordinary elements of nature can become extraordinary with the right knowledge and technology. The silent grains of sand in the desert eventually transform into glass that illuminates our lives, keeps us safe, and advances technology. Just imagine, the sand we walk on will one day bring light to our windows. This transformation of science is not just art, it's a unique example of human genius. Even simple particles like sand have infinite potential. All that is needed is the right vision and application. The next time you see the sunlight shining on the window glass, you may remember this amazing journey, the story of how it started from hot sand in the desert and transformed into clear, hard, perfect glass. And then you will understand that the combined creation of nature and science is the greatest strength of our civilization.